Isn't it crazy that the year's almost halfway over?
I feel that every single year where I look at the date and I'm like, wait a minute, 6 months have passed. Fuck.
This is the thing with productivity where you have a certain routine and you keep executing the routine, and it just makes it seem as though at times time is flying by.
It just disappears. That is true.
Yeah, and you just look up one day and you're thinking, "Whoa, half the year is already over."
It's
What?
insane how fast time flies. You don't notice it. Like you notice the hours go by slowly. For example, back in history class in school, I
Hmm.
would look at the clock and be like, "Whoa, so 40 minutes left, 30 minutes left," and the class just could not end soon. And when you look at like a bigger period of time, say like the past 10 years, it's like, whoa, okay, where did the last 10 years go? That was fast.
Right. For a lot of freshman students in high school, the first thing the teachers typically say is, uh, "Get ready because the 4 years are going to pass on by." And a lot of the students are like, 4 years pass on by? No way. But then out of nowhere, they're graduating. So it's crazy how the macro typically passes on by, but the micro, like waiting for class to end, drags on.
I've heard this one saying where the perception of time is very relative, where it depends, like something being a long time depends on what you were feeling and doing in that time. For example, if you are about to get married in a month, well, that month is going to feel very long to you. But if it's something like, you know, so a new concert is coming in a month, you don't care about it and you're not thinking about it, you're just living your life, then
Hmm.
it just goes by really, really fast and poof, here it is. So the more attentive you are to time, the slower it passes.
Huh. I wonder if, weren't you the guy that mentioned that when you get older, a lot of the days begin to blend in together? So it feels as though the times are going by quicker, while when you're young, each day is novel. So you're in the present more.
Yes. So at least I think this is how the brain works, where it tries to compress information, like how, WinZip would compress data. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, then the brain is not going to save, okay, I washed my hands today, wash my hands tomorrow, wash my hands the day before that, the day before that. It's going to compress it as, wash my hands every day, something like that.
Hmm.
So if you are living a routine life, you wake up, you work, you go to sleep, you go to the gym, you go to sleep, etc., etc., it's just going to count as one event and your brain is just going to compress it in a small amount of space. But if you're constantly doing new things, like you're traveling or going here and there, meeting new people, then all of that stuff is new and novel to you, and it's going to take up more space because simply by the nature of things, it can't be compressed. It just happened only once. And that is
Hmm.
why when you are younger, a lot of things are novel to you. New things keep happening, you keep learning new stuff. When you're born, everything is new. When you're 5, many things are new. When you're 16, some things are new. When you're 25, few things are new. When you're
Right.
40, very few things are new. When you're 80, you basically live the same day over and over again. So the amount of space it takes to save a day in your brain keeps reducing over time, and by the time you are older, you're living the same life every day, so your brain doesn't feel the need to remember it.
Do you think that's a bleak view, or do you think that's actually a good view? Because by the time you're, let's say, 75 to 80, you want the days to go on by fast.
I would say it's neither. I would say it's just how the brain is being efficient with its memory, just how you would expect a computer to be efficient with its memory. I think that it is on people to live interesting lives, to do interesting things, and to not get into a routine if they do not want to, be in a routine. It is up to you how you live your life. This is just how the brain works. Regarding 80-year-olds, it depends. Uh, the thing with old age is that you end up reaping what you sow. So I know 80-year-olds who can walk, who can actually show up in the gym and lift weights, like lift decent weights,
Hmm.
and are reasonably fit and healthy. I also know 80-year-olds who can't walk, who have to spend their entire life in a wheelchair, who have to wear a diaper or something, or need someone to help them go to the washroom and have a whole bunch of health issues. And I also know of people who died much before they reached the age of 80. Your health is something that you decide over time, and whether it is bleak or blessed is your choice that you made over 80 years. And like I said, you have made your food and now you have to eat it.
Right. And let's say by age 80, you do want to change. It's one of those things where you could make some micro changes, but the amount of habits that you've built up, it's like a tsunami right now. So you're trying to swim against a tsunami.
It's extremely hard to change at that age, not just personality wise, in the sense you do see some 80-year-olds who want to do things better, but the damage has already accumulated. Like a guy who can't walk anymore and needs help to go to the washroom is not suddenly going to start deadlifting 100 kilos. That is not going to happen, right? So
Right.
this guy, he has already done the damage, and now he's in his the time of his life is that he has to reap what he has sown, whether it be good or bad.
Hmm.
This is the difference between, say, a 15 or a 25-year-old and a 75 or an 85-year-old. Where a 15, 25-year-olds, the mistakes we make, they're correctable. We can change, we can do things better, we can learn and change. But someone at that age, it's probably much harder. I haven't hit nearly that age, so I can't be sure. But it does not look like people at 80s change their personalities and their lifestyles. I am yet to come across anyone who has done that.
Right.